everyone, welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. I'm Linda, and y'all, today I'm in the garden and I am beginning to get my irrigation system set up the way that I need it so that I would not have to be out here in the summer heat trying to water plants. This is part of my irrigation, and this is the drip tubing that has the hose already in it. And so I am going to be putting this in some areas that I had the drip that was just going with one emitter going to like certain plants, like some of my shrubs or some of my rose bushes. But you all, I decided this year I'm going to need these to be the ones with the emitters all the way throughout the line, because I would be putting some other things in these pots with these shrubs and these roses the same way I did last season. Some of these shrubs are going to get planted into the landscape, so some of them would not be needing it. But the ones that I know are going to stay in the containers, they're going to get one of these. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to connect it to the irrigation that is already set up, and to that same emitter. I will be connecting the one that I just showed you to these emitters that I had running to those containers, and they were just in the container running to the shrub or the tree that was in the container. I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to add a connector connected to the drip that has the emitters running all the way through it, and then steady flow of water dripping all around the container instead of coming out of just one hole. So I want to show you some of the things that I'm going to be needing. These are some of the little connectors that I will be using to connect the lines. And these will have a hole running from one end to the other end, and that is going to give me a steady flow of water. Then I will be needing these that does not have a hole. These will end the flow of water. They don't have anything on either end for water to flow through. So that is what I will be stopping the end of the tubing up with, because I will only need water flowing into one end. And I know a lot of you have started your irrigation, but I guess that there are some of you who probably have not started your irrigation yet. So I just wanted to show you some of the things that I will be doing to get my irrigation going, because as you all know, last summer got pretty hot, and this summer could get even hotter, and you don't want to have to be out trying to water those plants, even if it's very early in the morning. You would rather just set your timer, have the timer go off, let the water run, and then have the timer shut off when your plants are watered. Now, even with my irrigation system, I still have some plants that I will be coming out to water. I may hook the ones up that I plan to put on my patio, because I plan to have some plants on my patio this season. Last season I had only a few, but I did still have to come out to water them. I may figure out how to get some irrigation running to those plants that I'm going to have on the patio. I still have not figured out how to get the water flowing steadily to my Dollar Tree stackables. And so I know that if the green stalk can get water running up them, I should be able to get it running to my Dollar Tree stackable. So I need to try and figure that out this season, because those Dollar Tree stackables, I have 5 of those. No, I got 6. I got 6 of those. And so I need to learn how to water those without coming out of the house. I need those to get a steady flow of irrigation running to them, so that when I turn the irrigation on, they can get watered also. But we had a problem with that last season. It never got watered except times I came out and watered it myself. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going ahead and I'm going to be adding this irrigation to these, and I'm not going to be able to hook all of them up right now, because y'all, among the things that I have to do, I have to get I want to go ahead, I want to get these hooked up first. Mainly, I'm not going to even hook them up today. Mainly, the first thing I want to do is just get these lines, the lines that I just showed you all. I want to get this in. I want to get these plugged in on both ends. I want to have the end plugged in, that's going to be the connector, and the end plugged in is going to shut off the flow of the water. And I want to put them into my container with these staples. That is the main thing that I want to get done today, because you all, I am going to have to pull all of these containers away from the garden put them to the outside of the garden, not at the same time, but I'm going to be laying down some more fabric and some more plastic. I don't know if I'm going to cover every area because some areas look pretty good still, but some areas look terrible. So I'm going to have to go ahead and cover those ones that look awful, that I just can't stand. They're just raveling and I'm tripping over them, all that. I need to go ahead and get those covered with some new landscape fabric or plastic. And so that is what I'm going to be doing. I'll show you all how I'm going to do this very first one. Then I'm going to go and just run over the garden and do some work. Then I come back and show you all what I've done. Okay, let's take a look at the chickens and see what they up to today. Hey, girls and guys. There goes Mr. Kane. The other roosters, although they separated, they still try to keep in touch. And these are the hens that we were gifted, y'all, and they are looking very good. They put on weight and their feathers have grown back in. Okay, so I think I found one that I can go ahead and show you all the whole process of what I'm going to be doing to this irrigation and getting it set up to these containers. And this is the tubing with the emitters that I was telling you all about. And so I'm going to need to plug up one end because I will not be needing the water to flow all the way through. So I'm going to take one of, not these, take one of these. This is the one I showed you that don't have a hole. Y'all can see that don't have a hole on either end. And I'm going to take this smaller end and I'm going to stick it into this hole, and that's going to plug it up, and that's going to keep the water from flowing through. Otherwise, I'd be just having water shooting out the other end. Okay, so I'm going to need the other one in the other hole, and I'm going to need water flowing through it. So I'm going to put one of these. This is the one that has holes on both ends. I'm going to need water to pass through from the black tubing onto this tubing and water my plants that are going to be in this container. As I told you all, it's much easier to get these on if you got some gloves on. Okay, so now this is what I'll be hooking it to. I will be connecting it to one of these. And so I'll be cutting this. I'm gonna cut it a little longer right now. And I'll be putting in this other end in here. I already got it fixed up. I will be connecting this to this black tubing. And if you cannot get it in like that, if it's too hard for you to push in this way, you might have to let them sit out in the sun for a while, catch them when you might have to put this in some warm water to get it to go in more easily. If you can't get it then, you might have to ask for some help. But the important thing is that you get this irrigation into your garden so that you will not have to be out here in July. I'm just gonna skip to July because it can get hot before July. But y'all know in July it's gonna be roasting. So you do not want to be out here trying to water your plant. And if you did it last year, I don't even have to say no more. You already know. Now, if you had somebody to do it for you, that's good. But you know, I feel bad even having somebody else come out in the heat trying to water plants for me. I really do. I feel bad trying to get somebody to come out here and water plants in the heat. Cause y'all know during those hot months, person could fall out there. So as you see now, this one it's hooked up. And this is what I gotta do to about 100 more. No, what I gotta do to about, at least, I cut 20 of these. So I gotta do at least 20 more of these. And some of them, when I get to them, they might be already done. But I think I cut 20. I cut 15 at least. I know I cut 15. I think I cut 20, but anyway, I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna do this to those. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna go ahead and finish connecting all of them because like this one, I think it'll be okay where it is. This landscape fabric is not torn, ripped, or what you call that, or raveling too bad. It's raveling, but it's not awful. So that one will be okay. I can just blow it off, but some of the places it just has to be redone. So y'all gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get this done, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, y'all, I have gotten a lot of the tubing cut and put into these containers. Only thing I have to do now is connect them to the main line. I was also able to get a couple of shrubs planted into the ground. This one that I purchased on clearance in December, and so I have gotten it in the ground. I also purchased this one on clearance in December, and I'm happy to get both of these planted in ground. Okay, y'all, I have made it inside the house, and now it is time to pot some tomatoes. And I got my water right here. I guess I'll go ahead and pour my water into my tray. Let me show you all my tray here, where I am going to be potting my tomatoes. This is where I'm going to be potting to, into these pots right here. I'm going to go ahead and pour my water in to the bottom because my soil is pretty dry. I went ahead and I got my soil, but my soil is pretty dry. So I'm going to put some water in the bottom of this tray so that I can, let me show you all the tray in the pot. So I got a mixture of pots here. I've already got all my soil and I've watered the bottom of the container because I do not want to water these tomatoes from the top, y'all, because one thing you need to remember about your summer crops, including your peppers, your tomatoes, your squash, those plants, they are very sensitive. They are not like your fall and winter plants, your brassicas. Your brassicas, you can just water them. And I'm going to say I water my brassicas. I'll just stand there and spray my cabbages. I'll spray my broccoli. And I don't have a problem with spraying them because they're resilient as far as overhead spray is concerned. But, y'all, these tomato plants and these pepper plants, these squash plants, eggplants, they do not like to be sprayed like that. Those plants will get diseases. They will just rot out on you. So do not water your tomato plants overhead. Try your best not to get these leaves wet. When you say, well, the rain comes and the rain wets the leaves. Well, the rainwater is natural and it does not have the same things in it that your water from your faucet or from your tap or from your hydrant have in it. Because the water from your tap can contain a lot of fluoride. It can contain a lot of different minerals that's going to be harmful to these plants. And so do not Do not water. If you can help it, do not overhead spray your summer plants. Do not overhead spray those. Try your best not to get them wet because they will get diseases. And so this is what my tomatoes are looking like right now. And I'm happy with the way that they are looking because, y'all, they just took a jump, a growth, and there's, they took a jump in their growth like in the last few days. And so now that they have done that, it's letting me know it is time to go ahead and up pot them. And the next time that they needed to come out of these pots, they will be going out into the garden. And so that is what I plan to happen because we are like 3 weeks from our last frost date now. So I plan for these plants to be going out into the garden really soon. So let's go ahead and get to up potting. And the first one I'm going to start with is going to be and I've already started up potting some of these. The first one is a Costa Genovese. And I am going to take this one out. And y'all, these heirloom tomatoes are even more sensitive than your hybrid tomatoes when it comes to getting diseases and things like that. So you want to be extra careful with those and making sure that you do not overhead spray them. You do not want these leaves to get wet. You don't want these bottom leaves to touch the soil. So in order for me to not let these bottom leaves touch the soil, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pinch these bottom leaves off. I'm going to pinch them off because I plan to plant the tomato plant deep. And the reason why I'm going to plant this tomato plant deep is because on this tomato plant, there are a lot of little, see all those little hairs that are on that tomato plant? Well, those little hairs that you see on the tomato plant, if you plant them underneath the soil, you can go all the way up to right here, to the top, up here, to close to where these stems are coming out right here, those leaves, and you could plant this up to here. You will have roots that will begin to form all along the stem. And so that is going to produce a stronger plant for you. So what you want to do when you are about to up pot, and I already got a pot right here, you want to make sure that your pot is going to be tall enough for you to get up that high. That is why I started with these pots instead of using the pots that I had originally been using. These were the pots that I was using. But see, this plant will not go deep enough into this pot. This pot is not too much taller, but it is taller than that pot. So I'm going to make a well down in here with my finger, and I'm pushing my finger all the way to the bottom, and I made a deep hole in here, and then I'm going to drop this plant all the way into this soil as deep as I can get it. This is where I want this plant to be in here. You see, as far as how much soil is up around this plant. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this one in here, and I'm going to try another one with you all. But first, I need to go ahead and I need to make my label. And that is going to be very important because I want to know what type of tomatoes, what variety I am putting into these containers, so that when I get ready, when I get ready to give some away, I want to know which ones I'm giving to people, and I want to also know which ones I'm planting out into the garden. I want to make sure that I pinch these off. As a matter of fact, I might even try to use my little tool to remove these little leaves that are down here, because y'all, you can easily tear your plant up when you try to remove those if you don't remove them right. Okay, this is one of my favorite tomatoes. This is the Dr. Weich's. Okay, so I'm gonna try to drop this one all the way down to the bottom. Push it in. And now, that's as far as it's gonna go, y'all. That's as far as it's gonna go. So, it would be nice if I had some larger pots. These are the largest pots that I have. It's time to, start up potting your plants, getting them ready to go into your garden, because these plants are about to get big. And so I hope that you all didn't plant your tomatoes too early for your area, because it's very important you make sure you get those plants at the right time so that you won't have them inside the house getting be the size of trees. So I'm going to be able to get these. These are going to be going out in a couple weeks. I'm not going to up pot them again. When I take these and put them out in the garden, that's going to be the next up pot. That's all they're getting. This is it. So I am going to be fertilizing though. And this is what I fertilize with. I fertilize with this Organic Grow. And this Organic Grow is derived from hydrolyzed poultry manure. So this is poultry manure, fish protein, bone meal, and kelp extract. So y'all, this stuff is an organic plant food, but it would smell bad, but it does not smell bad when you put it in on your plants and when you use it inside the house. I think that its original form, it smells bad, but there's a fragrance in it. The main thing is that it does not smell horrible. It smells good. It has a fragrance to it, like they put some sort of smells kind of like an air freshener. So they added something to it to make it where it does not make your house smell horrible. Please do not put that fish emulsion inside a container and pour it on your plants inside the house. Don't do that. Yeah, please don't do that. Because that fish emulsion, we know how that fish emulsion smells when we put it in our garden. Do not try to start with fish emulsion fertilizing your plants inside the house. We want to use something that's organic. If you want to use something organic, this is what you want to use. Organic Grow. And it does not make your house smell bad. So I just wanted to show you all that. I think I've showed it before, but I just wanted to make sure that I show it to you again. And so that was the Dr. Weiss's tomato. And so I'm going to do one more. And this is just for anyone who has never up-potted in tomatoes before, because I know I have some new gardeners on this channel, and I appreciate you all so much. I appreciate all my new subscribers. I appreciate all of you who have been here with me for a while. I appreciate you and love you all. I do. You all, I am overjoyed and excited with you to be gardening with you this next growing season. I hope that I can come up with some good ideas that you all and share with you all. I hope that you all will enjoy this garden, because y'all, I have a lot of, I'm not going to say that there are new ideas, but we're going to be doing some new things in the garden this year. We're going to be growing some new things in the garden. We are going to be trying some new things. I just am so excited. I'm excited about getting the garden back in shape, getting it back the way that I had it before. I really want to grow a lot of food, but I also want to have the garden back to its beautiful state again. And so I hope that you all will be sticking around and watching it and enjoying this journey with me, and just enjoy, just sit back and enjoy, and also be gardening with me at the same time, y'all, because one thing I am excited about, and I want you all to be excited about, is making sure that you get your irrigation going. As I talked to you out in the garden about it today, I worked on that irrigation, and y'all, my fingers were sore. And so I don't want to lie to you and tell you that it is easy, because getting the irrigation fixed is not easy. Getting it in your mind to get it started is not easy. I procrastinated about getting that irrigation started for so long. It was like, I was intimidated by it. I did not want to even start it, because I was like, okay, this just looks so hard. And every time I looked at a video about it or saw someone who had did it, it just seemed like they were just making it so hard. It wasn't until I finally just started trying to get the pieces and put them together. And you all, if you know a place, and I can't tell you where to get your products from, because I did not get all of my products from the same place. I got some of my products at Lowe's. I got some of my products online. I found out that it was not good. Someone said to go to Drip Depot. I think that's the name of it. I cannot tell you about them, because I've never gotten anything from them. So I just had to do what worked for me. And the way it worked for me was to try to get things that I could kind of put my hands on. I could look at them. I could feel them. And then I started to say, I started to thinking, okay, well, this goes like this because this is what I saw on a video, and they had this. So I started getting those parts, and I started putting those pieces together, piece by piece, y'all. I'm just excited about hearing some of you say that you are going to start your irrigation this year, because it is so important to go ahead and get that started, because y'all, it is so, the weather has gotten so unpredictable, and I just would prefer my friends, you all, my friends, to be inside the house while the drip is dripping on your plant, instead of being out there, standing out there with a water hose. Y'all, I do not want y'all out there with that water hose, standing out there in that heat. Even the morning heat, y'all, can be too much. If not the heat itself, standing out there in those mosquitoes can be too much. I remember a couple of years ago when I was standing out there in the AM with those mosquitoes. Now I can wait till 9 o'clock or whenever that temperature is perfect outside. I can go out there and I can just water my few pots that I have. I told you about those Dollar Tree stackables. I can go out there and I can stand and I can do those Dollar Tree stackables. I can do them really quick. Because I'm just going to water from the top. They're going to trickle on down to the bottom. I'm getting back in the house, y'all, because it be too hot out there. So I am hoping that you will go ahead and go get that irrigation fixed. And I know I've got videos out that shows how to do it, how I did mine. There are a lot of videos out there that show how to do it. There may be some that are more, I'm sure more, they're explained better than what I have explained it. But it's explained okay, because I know, because some of you all told me that you all went ahead and learned from my video. So I appreciate that. I'm glad that you were able to install your irrigation off the information that I was given, because when I was out there putting it up, y'all know I was going through it. I was really having, the chickens was over there, cats were over there trying to get my chickens at the same time. Oh, and thank you all so much for all of the comments and the suggestions that you gave me on getting taking care of the cat problem that I have in my garden. And y'all, I'm going to be putting all of those things. I'm going to use all of, even someone said go out and get a litter box, put it in there, put it out in the garden so that the cat can go out and get it into the litter box. Someone else said go and get some forks and stick them up. I'm going to do that. I'm going to sprinkle some red pepper. I'm going to put some netting over which is the chicken netting, chicken wire. I'm going to put some chicken wire over some beds, because, y'all, that is not something I want to have to deal with throughout this whole summer. I don't want to hurt a cat. So putting a little litter box out there somewhere for the cat. They said that they had did it and the cat used the litter box. So I'm going to do it. And someone else mentioned that those cats take care of the rats. And I believe it. I believe they take care of the rats, and I believe they may even help me with my snake problem. So you all, I'm going to be doing all these things. But you all, I just wanted to do one more of these with you all, and then I am going to end the video, because I don't want this video to be too long, because I can talk to you all day. This is the early Goliath, and I am going to lift this early Goliath out. And so if anyone has not ever done tomato plants before, have not ever up-potted, this is an early Goliath. And you all can see some of these plants have different, the leaves have different colors underneath. This one has purple underneath all of its leaves. So that evidently is a quality of this plant. So I am going to separate this, because this is two plants. And if you all, I hope that you all are starting from seeds, but if you go to a nursery and you have something like this going on, then go ahead. If you need to buy some plants, get one that have, look for one that has more than one plant. This is two plants. This is grown from my seeds, but it still is two plants. So I got a tool over here that I said I was going to try to use, and I forgot to take it out and take it apart, but I think I still will be able to use it. So if you have some snips handy to help you with these plants, go ahead and remove these bottoms leaves off so that they will not be touching your soil. And now I'm going to go ahead and make me a deep well in here. Push this soil back and get this plant dropped all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to stand this plant up. And I'm going to push my soil back around it. And then I got my soil right down here beneath me. Try not to make a mess. My daughter been cleaning up, and Mama, you made a mess. And there we go. So it is in here, and this is our early Goliath. So that means that this plant should be one of the ones to go out into the garden faster and earlier, because it means it's going to produce some fruit earlier, hopefully. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed the video and that you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video. And as always, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.